This is the David you found in London? It's different. There must be more out there than we thought. No! It's never how you talk about yourself.
Why did you make me do this? You're fighting so you can watch all of these mascots die. Think, Luigi. You'll outlast every fragile, insignificant franchise in this game. You'll live to see these series turn into pachinkos or mobile only. Everything and every game from your childhood will be ruined. What will you have after 500 consoles?
I'd still have you.
Professor, I'm 10 years old and I'm ready to pick a Pokemon.
Not until I get mine first, dork. Now, boys, you'll both get your chance. Now, before I can give you your Pokemon, you have to answer a few questions for me.
Okay, shoot.
All right. Well, first, are you a boy or a girl?
Huh? I'm, a boy, right? Right, I'm a boy?
Why are you asking me?
I don't know, it was just like a kind of a curveball. I'm a boy.
Now, what is your name?
You don't remember my name?
Who would want to remember you?
Shut up, Gary. It's Ash.
Ah, yes, of course, Ash. Now, to your left, that's your rival, my grandson. You've known each other for years. What's his name? Grandpa?
Grandpa, what are you doing?
What's his name, Ash?
Is he having a stroke? Grandpa, come on. It's not funny. Grandpa, it's Gary. Gary Oak? I'm your grandson. You can't forget me.
What's his name,
Mom
Ash?
said you were forgetting, but no.
What's his name, Ash?
Come on. We were there so many years of. Come on. It's Gary Oak. Ash, can you call my mom? I think he's forgetting. Big fuck. What?
Ah, yes, my grandson, Dick Fuck.
What?
Ash, you must be prepared for the journey ahead.
It isn't.
You will meet great
No.
foes and
No.
many Pokemon.
This is a pretty hardcore origin story.
It's okay. We're gonna figure it out.
Were you followed?
No, I don't think so.
No, my husband can't join your team. He's a bald fucking pussy. He's even a useless father to Marin.
Marin can join our team then. That's okay, right? You know how to do an RKO, Marin? If we have a baby on our team, another fighter will kill her by mistake and get disqualified. You cold motherfucker.
Is my baby in danger at this tournament?
No! We sense some real, hidden potential in Marin. Like when Gohan went crazy against Raditz. Or some shit like that.
Okay, that's fine then.
Alright!
Yeah.
Turn around now, and you can go home in one piece. But if you don't, just remember, going down this path was your choice. Turn around now.
So,
Turn around now, and you can go home in one piece. But if you don't, just remember, going down this path was your choice.
Yeah.
Turn around now, and you can go home in one piece. But if you don't, just remember, going down this path was your choice.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Yo, 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 yo.
Let me break it down for you, Mark.
Yeah. Hey guys, how's it going? Your boy, Ronald from America here, back at it again. I know it's been a while since I've done a live stream, but some more heat. I wanted to talk about some stuff that involves accountability, and that's involved. This is about talking about scammers and liars. You know them. There's a whole ass ton of them, and they're all on social media, ready to kick you the next scam so they can enrich themselves and keep you bored. And the main people who seem to be doing this often is usually social media influencers. Not to say that others outside that realm don't do it either. A typical celebrity or a businessman or a politician, but it's often done so far right now on social media by social media influencers. Or they're either the go-between or the middleman between when it comes to scams. From the NFT to the crypto scams to the Ponzi schemes, MLM, etc. Oh, there's a whole bunch of scammers on social media. from the Rogan Paul to the Ace family, the Ass family, Ace family. The fake family. I don't care about those things. And what else? I think there was that one that children's coin that the FaZe Clan and Rice Gum did. So we already know Tanner Mongeau's a scammer. She at least she's open with it and honest about it, I guess. What? And we also know that the whole PP loan, there was a lot of people scamming during the PP loan during the pandemic and shit like that. So yeah, that's something. But boy, goddamn, we just got a lot to talk about. People were scamming like a motherfucker. And it's like people like scamming is just increasing in number. You got so many people doing it. Basically, lately, as of recently, you've seen a lot of black women doing scamming. But you got on social media influencers like Spencer Cornelia and Coffee Villa who are doing their due diligence and calling these scammers out. So it made me think of them. It made me think like, hey, why don't I do something similar to that? Talk about these scammers, hold these people accountable, because we got so many people who are out here lying on social media, taking scams to trying to profit off their fan base and other people who probably couldn't even afford to pay for it, but will pay because they're loyal fans to these other people, or just probably they're just dumb, or just gullible. One of the evil, Ahoy, enemy AJ, how's it going, buddy? Welcome. Let me send you the link. There's the link for you, man. Yeah, okay. Where should I start? Some recent scams that's going on. Let's start with the mayor of Dalton. The city girl mayor, how O'Shea D. Jackson and Pink Book Lesson cosplayer, or aka Super Mayor Tiffany Henry, the mayor of Dalton. Tiffany Teflon Tahoe, for what Pink Book Lessons calls her. Tiffany Teflon Tahoe. Yeah. The corrupt black woman mayor, the first black woman mayor of Dalton, who has been tearing up the neighborhood of Dalton and just ruining everything. Doing it whatever she wants. Buying Tahoes and shit, taking trips at the expense of taxpayers and shit like that, and then have the nerve to lie about it when the evidence is right there. When all the trustees are literally presenting evidence, like detailed receipts of the evidence, this woman will lie about the evidence and pretend like it ain't there. And then if you stand up to this woman, she'll try to get rid of you. Like there have been any people who try to stand up to her got dealt with. Or just not employed no one. Like this woman really is a definition of dysfunction. Like a corrupt person in power. Man, be glad that she ain't in control of a whole country. Like, bro, if at first she probably had people killed. Anybody who's quick, okay, she probably had them killed. I don't know, because this woman's pretty damn corrupt. Like she literally tried to, when she was asked about had her taking a trip to Vegas and spending money on all kinds of issues in Vegas, she literally tried to deny it, even though there's evidence of it. And then try to buy a damn Tahoe with taxpayers' money as well. And recently, it was discovered that the city went from being $2 million in debt to $7 million in debt because of this lady. And they're on the verge of losing all the police vehicles because the bill has not been paid. The lease has not been paid. Like, god damn. And then you wonder, how the hell did a woman like this get in this position of power? And then you think about, oh yeah, because black people put her in there. Yeah. We put her in there. Us black folks. Ain't that some shit? We seem to always put people who, just because they're charismatic, as our leaders. And then when they come back and burn us, we look here looking stupid. We come back and we out here looking stupid. Then, know what I mean? That's why I do truly feel bad for the people of Dalton, but at the same time, I gotta hold them accountable for putting her in a position of power in the first goddamn place. Like, we gotta learn to stop putting on elected people as leaders and officials just because they talk black or talk that pro-black-ish, or because they seem relatable, or they seem real cool, or they're very charismatic, but don't show anything else outside of charisma. You know what I'm saying? Know what I'm saying? So, recently, this lady had a charity. Let's be real. She had a charity that had her name on the goddamn charity. Like the bitch has her name on the fucking charity, and they go on Roland Martin's show when he asked her about it, as well as other media platforms who asked her about it, about the Tiffany Henry charity for breast cancer. So she said her mother had breast cancer. She gonna literally on TV, live on TV, deny that she had anything to do with it. Like, deny she had anything to do with it. When the goddamn charity has her goddamn name on it. And she's basically trying to make spin the narrative that somebody is just using her name to get clout, get clout or something like that. Like, this bitch really thinks she's clout. Just because she's doing a terrible job running a damn city. Yeah. Thank you. She thank you, Cellophane, just because she made an ass of herself as a mayor and the townspeople. And Renee just says, "I feel you, dog. Thank you, bro. I'm glad you feel me, bro. I'm glad you feel me." But see, if you look back, she literally said herself. That she started that she's the one who started to open up the charity. And what gets me is the fact that, woman, do you not keep track of what the stuff you say, or keep track of your lives? You literally just said, and not too long ago before your interview, you were already on live said that you started a charity for breast cancer and stuff like that. But then when you get confronted on media about the charity and how much of a scam it is, because people have been donating to that charity, and see, one thing about this lady is that when you're not down with her, she's one of those type of people that try to punish you for not being down with her. Because recently, there's a businessman who's been trying to get his business license renewed, can't get it renewed because he apparently does not agree with Miss Henry and stands against her, or just or he just chooses not to lay down. You know what I'm saying? You either get down or you lay down. But apparently this man didn't want to get down. So she's trying to make him lay down. And so she refusing to let him renew his license. And she's not even doing it. She's doing it to other people who have not done it. It's not just a black man. She's doing it to, I think, her Hispanic business owner, as well as other racial business owners as well. Like, damn. Like, seriously, how you gonna do dishes like do so? It's like that. You ruining business. How you gonna get any business just because somebody don't agree with you? You punishing somebody who don't agree with you, even though you're in the wrong. Like, what kind of shit is that? What kind of leader is that? You punish somebody because they don't agree with your bad leadership. You effing up their livelihood and potential tax money just because somebody don't agree with you, just because they choose not to lay down. Just because they choose not to get down with you, they gotta lay down. I still can't go with the fact that our people put this lady in the position she's in. But when you think about it, as I think about it, it kind of makes sense because a lot of these black politicians we have in these Democrat states were put in by black folks because they so relatable. They got this and that charisma and this and that, or they tell us stuff that we love to hear, but don't do it. So once we put them in the position they're in, everything goes south. We get fucked over, and everybody else get what's promised or get what they want, and we get nothing. Ain't that crazy? Ain't that some shit? We gotta do better, black people. We got to. We can't just keep shot racism every time something happens. But yet we let idiots within our community and put them in and let them become the leaders, the voices that speak for us. And they make a damn fool of us and help others instead of us when they promise us, and we're the ones that helping them get in the position they're in. I just wanted to say that and get that off my chest, but I'm not done. Thinking back to Tiffany Tahoe. And hey, how's it going, MAJ? How's it going? Ahoy, buddy. Oh, he probably still got his mic on yet. But anyway.
There we go. My mic's on now.
Oh, what's up, buddy?
How's the audio?
Nothing much. I was just cooking, you know.
Oh yeah, you were cooking all right.
Where was it? That Tiffany Henry. So this woman basically went on live. I think on TV because live television or live on social media. Either way, she was live, and she did announce a charity that she did not long ago. So once Roland Martin and other Angela Yee, I think, interviewed her talking about that very charity she not too long ago said she started. That's supposed to help with breast cancer and shit like that. She denied it and said that somebody else using her name to start that and started that charity. Talking about they're using my name for clout and stuff like that. I said, really, ma'am, you must have forgotten that you literally announced that charity. Or did you announce another different charity? And we just mistaken. No, you announced that charity. And I bet you reaping the benefits of that charity. I bet you doing that damn charity just to cover your tracks and try to recuperate the money that you spent, recklessly spent, because you got that city $7 million in debt. Oh, hello, Bud Foss. How's it going? Yo, hey, bro. How's it going? And now you want to start a charity to probably help cover your track. Not only that, but this woman started a whole podcast and where she basically speak her truth, tell her side of the story. But let's keep it real. There's no side to tell. You caught red-handed. There's evidence that proves everything you've been accused of. Like, there's no point in you trying to speak your truth when the truth is you are a scammer, a liar, and a thief. And you're corrupt as shit. As well as being an evil woman. So this lady lies about the charity and try to, disassociate herself from the charity. So yeah, I just want to start things off with that. So Anime AJ, how you been, buddy?
Oh, I've been all right. I'm trying to figure out what's going on with the mic because whenever you're speaking, it's triggering my mic in OBS.
I can hear you pretty darn loud and clear.
Yeah, let me turn this.
Yeah,
how does that sound?
Sounds good.
Sounds better. Not too loud.
No, you're perfect. Pretty
I
perfect.
got one.
Yeah, man. Been quite a week. Been quite a couple weeks, 2 weeks even.
I know, right?
All right. Yeah, I remember what you're talking about. Some woman, some politician had a charity event or something and claimed that even though it had her name, the charity was named for her or after her, and she had announced it like sometime prior. She claimed it had nothing to do with her, and it's like, what?
Yeah.
What's up, guys?
What's up?
Hey, Captain AJ. D left?
Yo, AJ.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm not
Yo,
a captain.
AJ. All right, so AJ, got
What's
anything
up?
you want to talk about?
Yeah, the whole thing with Sweet Baby Inc. But you've been hearing what that's been going on, right? On Twitter and social media, everybody's coming out about Sweet Baby Inc. and how they've ruined a lot of games.
God.
Yeah, I heard about it, but I've never heard any details. So yeah, I definitely want to listen to it.
Dude, you need to get it. You need to look into it. It's all over Twitter. I mean, that's basically what the Twitterverse is exploding, getting all up in arms about. And now everybody's like, oh, Gamergate 2.0, let's go. Gamergate 2, Electric Boogaloo. Well, one thing that stood out for me, and you guys know, I've told you before, especially when we met, I've been calling out about the gatekeeping. Comicsgate, Gamergate, all these gates, they're gatekeeping movements. And gatekeeping is censorship. All right, now keep that in mind here as I'm about to roll this over. There's talk about what Sweet Baby Inc. has done, like they've been at their third-party consultancy, and so they consult other video game developers on how to incorporate diversity, equity, and inclusion into the games, and then you get all the wokeness into the video games, right?
Right.
So a lot of those games they've been involved with end up failing in sales, or at least there's been one game developing company that had to close its doors and shut down because the first game it released broke them. Like they were just kaput after their first game was released.
Damn.
With that said, there's also talk that apparently Sweet Baby Inc. has been funded by the federal government.
Really now?
Now, with that said, should this actually be true, then my argument is that obviously controlled opposition is a valid thing. This is what I've been trying to argue about and discuss, is that if you got the federal government funding certain entertainment industries or certain companies, certain movie projects, or funding certain video game companies and saying, hey, we'll pay you to do this or that, and then those companies influence the developers to go, yeah, include this diversity stuff into your narrative, well, then obviously controlled opposition is a real thing. It's already been proven that during the last midterm elections, the Democrat Party was funding Republican candidates. They were not only that, they were funding pro-Trump Republican candidates in the GOP. Those pro-Trump guys, those Republicans who supported Trump and won their nomination process, they ended up losing the general elections during the midterms when they went up against Democrats. So what I'm getting at is the federal government is funding SBI to do what they do. Well, then they're obviously funneling money. What I'm getting at is the whole intent is to create these gatekeeping movements. Problem, reaction, solution. They create a problem with the intent to create a specific reaction, and then they end up going after, or providing, rather, they provide the solution to the problem they themselves created. And what has been going on with all these gatekeeping movements? Talk about, you're just, the topic of censorship comes up in all the gatekeeping things. Anything that has to do with like Comicsgate or Gamergate, censorship is part of the conversation. People don't want to be censored. They don't want this or that. They don't want being told what they can or cannot have in a game or a movie or anime. This is the goal of the woke agenda. Gamergate and Comicsgate are woke. They're considered the reaction to the problem. And now we got all this going on right when the bill that allows the president to ban any social media website. And it's like, oh, we're going to ban TikTok. Guess what? They can come after X. We're all fucked now. YouTube, X, any social media company that doesn't abide by the agenda and doesn't play the narrative that the government wants you to believe. But yeah, man, Sweet Baby Inc., it's crazy.
So basically, the government wants to put all social media platforms under one banner and under one ruling and agenda. Basically, they don't want no free thinker or independently active social media platform.
Exactly, because they can't control the narrative on places like Twitter or TikTok. Everybody's able to find out the actual truth. People are able to actually have conversations to a certain extent. What really irks me in keeping in this conversation, this topic in line with what you're discussing, scammers and grifters, is that people like the gaming journalists are coming out in defense of Sweet Baby Inc. Other mainstream or mass media influencers are coming in on it. Like, people are picking up on the trend and they're trying to cash in on it. They're trying to grift by spinning this to a certain way to fit their narrative or their agenda. And
continue to work.
Right. And the messed up thing is that it's this whole Gamergate 2.0 thing. Everybody is basically resorting to name calling. They think that what really irks me about this, in terms of like discussing accountability on social media, is that there are so many more people now who are unwilling to discuss things in a mature fashion. There were disagreements over the video game stuff right now, and how video games are being censored or being influenced with DEI and wokeness, and people who are opposed to it are immediately devolving into vitriolic posts and tweets. They name call anybody they disagree with, and then when they get blocked by those people that they disagree with, they call those people out as, oh, they're a coward, they're this or that. It's like, dude, how does their logic work? They have like some sort of people who claim to be anti who are opposed to the wokeness, who claim to be part of or supportive of the Gamergate movement. They behave and they speak in the same manner as those who support the woke agenda. They don't understand that this is all part of that agenda.
Wow. It's like freedom of thought and freedom of speech seem like just mere smoke and mirror.
Right. Well, yeah, it's like it's like more and more people are choosing to have no respect for privacy or freedom of thought. They're choosing to not have any respect for others, period. And it's disgusting. That's why I never supported I never supported the original Gamergate. I never supported I will never support Comicsgate. You don't need to be part of some gatekeeping cult to stop or oppose wokeness.
The thing, I'm gonna puke.
And then, of course, the really messed up part is that these types of people, VTubers, content creators, Twitch streamers, they'll be like, oh, no politics or religion, blah, blah, blah. But then the way they talk, that's the reason why people don't want to talk politics because they're the freaking assholes who resort to the name calling.
You mean like guys like Hasanabi and what was it, Ethan Klein?
Any of them, even someone, even people people like Dash Attack VTuber just resort to immediate name calling with people who they disagree with or who disagree with them.
Yeah. Oh, hey, Evil Sonic, the ultimate legendary Evil Sonic. How's it going, dude?
Hey, Evil Sonic.
Well, yeah, I see what you're saying, dude. It's like maturity just non-existent.
Mm-hmm.
It's like free thinking, even though we're supposed to be a race of free thinkers, it's like that's non-existent either. Next thing you know, complete and utter common sense is going to be smoking mirrors.
Well, I'm uncertain that smoke and mirrors is the correct term to use. That's basically smoke and mirrors is meant to be like, hey, look over here, and we're distracting you with this, so you don't look over there.
Or an illusion. Maybe it wasn't an illusion, or just non-existent.
Right. Like it comes back more to the whole controlled opposition. Is that these gatekeeping movements are literally controlled opposition. Whether it's being funded directly or indirectly, the fact is that they are reactions to things that the government is funding or supporting. So the government funds a company like Sweet Baby Inc. to do what they do by influencing or consulting video game developers, or even they do this with other companies that then, participate in the production of TV shows or movies. They may not be the actual studios, but they consult them. The rabbit hole goes real deep, and then they end up creating, and they know this is going to lead people to being like, oh, we're going to oppose wokeness and the woke agenda, and then they're like, yep, now we got them where we want them. Because then they start saying, oh, there's misinformation, there's racism, there's hate speech against certain minorities or certain groups of people who identify a certain way based on their gender identity.
I guess I'm going to be like Mr. Beast and identify as a helicopter.
Right.
Or
yeah, I identify as an Apache helicopter.
Well, I identify as these nuts.
Yeah, well, I identify as Ligma.
Touché.
You have to go there.
So what else you got on your mind, Ronnie B?
Well, there's also this prosecutor. The fuck? Hold up. Evil Son says, doing all right. Just trying my best to get to 500 subs. Oh, okay. Well, keep going that, dude. But anyway, no what matters. This is also this prosecutor, this Atlanta-based prosecutor named Fannie Willis, the one who prosecuted Trump, or is prosecuting Trump. Apparently, she has some skeleton in her closet too.
Yeah.
Apparently, he has been having a little romance in the workplace and tried to hide it, but it's now on the chopping block.
Why hide it?
Because it's inappropriate. Well, that's why. Apparently, she's also been doing similar stuff to what Tiffany Henyard's been doing. Spending money that ain't supposed to be spent, having affairs, doing all kinds of corrupt practices and such. Well, apparently, she's being publicly sued by the guy who she's been having a romantic workplace relationship with. And get this, the guy who she's having a workplace relationship with was married. So he tried to divorce her so he can cover his own tracks. But that got discovered, and now it's being put on blast. So now we got a whole shitstorm where all that she was doing to prosecute Trump maybe falling back on her. You know, maybe Trump might not be seeing no time or jail time or anything, because like apparently you can't try to hold somebody accountable when you got skeletons in your closet and you doing dirty work yourself.
Right.
And it makes you imagine, if this is what the kind of corrupt practice she's been doing, it makes you imagine like what other corrupt practice she's been doing, or how many other men have been put down or put away behind her corruption.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like the table's been turned.
Yeah, perfectly said, actually. Like, this lady was making a big deal about trying to hold Trump accountable, put Trump away, stop Trump. Let's be real. That also further proves that Democrats were just trying their best to keep Trump from being a strong opposition to them.
What if I told you, remember I talked about controlled opposition? The government, apparently SBI, Sweet Baby Inc. is being funded by the federal government. And I said earlier that the Democrats during the previous midterm elections, the Democrats funded pro-Trump Republican candidates for their nominations. Those pro-Trump candidates won and then faced off against Democrat candidates and lost in their general elections, right?
Right.
Okay, take that a step further. If that's what they're doing for congressional and Senate races and state governor elections, you can bet your bottom dollar that they're doing it with Trump. He is the controlled opposition. They claim that they don't want him in, but everything they're doing is to help. Because either way, whether it's a Democrat or it's Trump, they win. He is part of the Democrats' agenda.
And that makes you think.
Because I'll tell you one thing, people, before I sorry for interrupting, but let me get you one last thought out there for you. Because even though Trump's been taken to court on multiple things, especially like this one that you're talking about, which now he may not lose because, the prosecutor is fraudulent and thus there's a conflict of interest or something, whatever, is that he's already been proven to have violated federal election laws when he used his campaign funds to pay off Stormy Daniels, that porn star.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've proven that was what was done, that he used campaign funds to do it, and yet nothing's come of it because they're distracting us with all these other legal cases being brought against him by Democrats. They are intentionally creating these distractions so that no one goes for him for the one thing that he really does, that he really did do. He violated federal campaign election laws.
That makes a lot of sense, man.
They want to distract us.
Sure
so
did.
They make Trump look better by doing all this because, oh yeah, nothing can touch him. He can't be beaten. Then he gets in. If he gets reelected,
when you think about it, when you put it that way, that means that it don't matter who you choose.
It does matter who you choose, but it doesn't matter who you choose when it comes to the red or blue because they're the same team. The GOP and the Democrats are the same.
That's what I'm trying to get at. In a way, it doesn't mean what you choose because it's still going to be basically that side in control.
It doesn't matter who you choose when it comes to the establishment, but people also aren't paying attention to the fact because with all this going on and us being distracted, and the news doesn't tell anybody that there are literally 3 candidates on all 50 state ballots. No one, even after 2016, when I would ask people in public, hey, in 2018 and 2020, I was like, hey, did you know there was more than 2 candidates, that a libertarian or such and such ran? In 2016, for example, there were 4 candidates. The third was the Libertarians, and then the fourth was the Green Party. And people would always say, I didn't know there was more than 2 candidates. And it's like, how are you voting and not actually looking at the ballot? They don't want us to know that there's a third option that has been available in the last 2 presidential elections.
But also, not to catch up, what I was about to say is also that
Yeah,
it makes
go ahead.
you wonder. I used to thought that the Republicans stole a significant amount of the wealth.
I'm sorry, you sounded muffled.
I used to thought that there was a point that Republicans, given that they're more business minded, and usually they usually tend to be the more old money in America, where the controls of most of the wealth.
No, they're not. There's nothing about old money regarding them. There's nothing pro-business about. That's the thing people don't understand is that the Democrats and the Republicans are both funded by corporations, the same corporations. In fact, both parties are funded by the same banks, like Bank of America, J.P. Morgan, Wells Fargo, Chase. They fund both sides. They make donations to Trump's campaign. They made donations to Obama's campaign. They made donations to Biden's campaign. It's kind of like how the government is funding two sides of a war, like we did in Iraq and Iran in the 80s. There's nothing old money about it. That's just the business.
Yeah. What I was saying is that when I look at it, I understand that Democrats kind of see more like rising in the wealth category because of all the new money and entrepreneurship and stuff. Because now, back then, wealth was predominantly old money. People who was born in wealth and already had established wealth. But now it seems like it's more of the new money. The people who are more Democrat in their beliefs that hold most of the wealth.
Well, what about Ramaswamy? He's new money, but he's a GOP candidate. He's Republican.
I was saying,
he's
like,
an entrepreneur.
Now, I was saying from a statistic point of view, not in general. It just seems like, yes, there are some new money Republicans, but I used to think that most Republicans are the old money people.
Right, they aren't. That's what I'm trying to say is that neither side is old money, neither side is new money. It's just one huge game. They play. People talk like, oh yeah, you can't trust politicians. They lie on the campaign trail all the time. Everybody says it. And yet then you see these, both sides are fighting each other, and people acknowledge that political theater is real, and yet they still continue to vote for either the Democrat or the Republican. And it's like, they're not who you think. They're not who they make us think they are. Like even who is it? The guy with the eye patch, some Republican in the South. Like he's basically the new McCain, but everything that he's been voting in favor of or saying and doing, he sounds and talks like a Democrat, but from a different, a different perspective. Like he's, oh yeah, I'm a Republican. It's like not the way you vote, isn't, sir? And he's supposedly a military veteran, no less.
Wow. Okay. Hey. It just makes you think, man. There's so many outliers going on. It's just, how do you break it all down?
Right. And that's the other thing. Like again, when they just passed that bill, I mentioned earlier, they passed that bill where now the president can ban TikTok. They want to ban TikTok. Do you know how they're going to make TikTok illegal? The bill basically allows the president to go after any social media website or company, and in order to do it, they take, so say Apple, let's say they decide to ban TikTok, right? Well, they don't go after TikTok. They go after, say Apple has it on the Apple Store, on the App Store. They have TikTok available for download, and all of a sudden TikTok becomes illegal. Well, they don't go after TikTok. They go after Apple because Apple is not abiding by the law that says TikTok cannot be used by American citizens. They go after the companies that allow us to be able to download the app or who provide the service for us to connect and use the apps.
Yo, I want to say something though. I want to interject something. Apple's probably one of the biggest corporate scammers in my opinion.
Oh, they're definitely a scammer. You
basically sell the same damn phone. They try to say, oh, it's a 15, oh, it's a Pro Max, or it's a thing like that. Bro, it's the same damn thing.
That's the whole, yeah. Yeah, I mean,
You're
everybody's
basically paying for the same thing. You're paying for the brand, not the technology.
and people have acknowledged the fact that Apple programs and designs the iPhones to stop functioning after a set number of years.
Right.
And
then
yet
also,
they go back. And yet they go back again and again to buy the new one for more and more money. So it's like, do you really think that highly of yourself that you know things, and yet you're going to continue to give them your money if you know that they're scamming you?
Yeah. Oh, hi, Jeremiah Fogle, Epic Superboy, DC Comics Encyclopedia.
God,
But
man,
yeah,
what is with these YouTuber names?
right. Always, I had it's a whole mouthful, man.
They're too long. Just come up with a catchy name and like what the heck?
Yeah. But as I was saying, when it comes, at my job, I sell phones, iPhones. I'm an Android person. I do not like iPhones, but I still sell them. Even though I had to, because like customers who won't want them. Even though people, I stress people like, why are you buying this iPhone? Why are you spending so much on an iPhone? You go in a way, you're basically buying the same type of phone, no matter what type of phone it is. iPhone 11, 12, it's the same thing, basically. And it's a basically, iPhone is the equivalent of a glass house. It is so flat.
Well, with Apple being a scamming company, I can't deny the fact that Google, who made the Android software, they're no less scamming than than Apple is. They're just as bad.
This software not bad.
Google owns YouTube, and we already know how bad YouTube is.
Yeah, that's true. Now that I hold them accountable on that. Hey.
Well, Google is also pro censorship. Guess who funds Google, dude? Google gets funding from the federal government.
Military?
They even do contracts for the federal government and the military.
Yeah, I know about that.
Right.
They're a secret. They're in a way like supposedly a secret military company. Well, a lot of these tech companies are in a way. When you think about it, we don't always know it because it's not put.
So Google is no better than Apple in that regard. They're just as bad as Apple. Even Apple is working for the government. When the government says, "Oh, we want backdoors into this person's account and their phone, so we can get their metadata,"
right?
Well, Apple has agreed to that. Apple doesn't protect the privacy of its customers.
Well, all companies sell people's data, user data. Let's keep it real. All tech companies do that crap. That's common. Everybody knows that. That's common knowledge.
Well, just because it happened, okay, so just because everybody's jumping off a bridge doesn't mean we have to. Just because everybody is selling data doesn't make it okay. Just because, everybody knows that the Republicans and the Democrats lie on the campaign trail doesn't mean we should be voting for them still. Right? Like, there was somebody on Twitter earlier who was saying, like, oh, because Texas had passed a law. Texas recently passed a law that in order to visit a porn site, the said company that runs it has to go through identity verification. You now have to provide your actual government-issued ID to go onto an adult website in Texas. That's why Pornhub is no longer, it pulled its service out of Texas. You can't access the website in Texas anymore.
Yeah, right. That's not going to be a whole can of worms.
The problem with it is that, back in the day, you go like, oh, it would prompt you, oh, what's your date of birth? And then it lets you in. Well, a lot of kids would lie anyway. The whole bill it's like, oh, this is to help protect kids from accessing the website. It's like, dude, the parents should be responsible for that, not having the government say, oh, adults, because children aren't issued IDs. So who are the ones that are going to have to submit their state-issued identification cards to access a website? Right? Adults. So one person's argument was, oh, this is going to be good. There's nothing wrong with doing that. It's like, people are like, you don't see a problem with having to scan and submit your ID to a website. And people are like, oh, well, because there's a huge risk of having your identity information stolen. Identity theft, right? That's a huge issue. And someone else argued back like, well, all that stuff is public information and it's on the internet already. It's like, that's no excuse. Obviously, that's an example of how people are increasingly choosing not to have any respect for privacy, the right to privacy.
It's a damn shame.
It is a damn shame. You're right.
We as a country deserve L's, man. Give them L's, Murder Weapons.
Right, but just because a lot of people's personal information has been stolen on the internet and that's being passed around on these hacker websites, that doesn't make it okay to have a law that requires people to submit their ID. That's like saying you have to hand over your ID in order to get on a roller coaster regardless of your height.
You're welcome.
I'll tell you, man. I feel like that just makes it sad.
It does make it sad. Because because really that whole bill in Texas, it's very much on the same thread as the TikTok banning bill. It's all about censorship of free speech.
But also, I want to say this that I'm about to say this now.
You sound kind of muffled again.
I do?
Yeah.
All right. Am I good now?
A little bit.
Damn it.
How close do you have your mic to your mouth?
Bro, are you alright?
Pretty close, actually.
Yeah, that's probably it. If the further away you can get it, the clearer you sound.
Okay.
Are you wearing a headset, Mike?
No, I'm talking to my phone.
Okay. Oh, okay. Maybe that makes sense.
You good now, bro?
I don't know.
AJ, you good?
Well, why would I not be good?
I don't know. You tell me.
You're the one who asked, so I just asked. What the heck, dude? What kind of question is that? I just can't hear your brother because his voice sounds like he's got the mic right up to his mouth. So anyway, Ronnie D, what's another thing on your mind?
Yeah, tell us.
I was also going to talk about how a lot of these black female entrepreneurs are getting caught left and right scamming and getting locked up to strong, independent women and so on, IG models, business women. Like it seems like it's mostly black women doing a lot of scamming. Like one on I think Love and Hip Hop or Basketball Wives on reality star British Williams is just now is getting convicted for running a scam for I think a few years now. And recently she actually she was trying to spend time with her kids before they locked her up. After when the time came for her to be in court, she decides she want to try to make her own moves and say that no, I don't want to go. Can we just do it another time? I'm like, what? The fuck? Hold on. You go when they tell you to go, not when you want to go.
So she chose not to go to her court date as it was scheduled by the court,
and they had to go and get her, and probably I think bust her up afterwards. Like you just got you just been convicted for scamming, proven the scam as a proven scammer, and you have the nerve and gall to say at the last minute, like, oh, I want to increase my own in my date. Like I was like, woman, they already giving you the extension. The extension you had up that point, what the time you had before your conviction was the extension. How dare you try to ask for more after they don't being so lenient with you? And that's another thing I can't tell that gets me. These women boldly do what they do because the law is so lenient with them. It's not as harsh as it is on them as it is on a man. And that seems to be also something that's very prevalent in our community, that all women are being pushed to act this way and do this. That's why fathers are necessary. Because it shows them and teaches them the proper discipline that's needed. So a lot of these women in our community thinking that they can do whatever the hell they want and they see no consequences behind it. And it's not just black women, it's other women too, other race women. These feminists, bro, like,
their sense of entitlement.
Yeah. It's like you think it's like you want to be treated equally. You want the benefits of being treated equally, but not the cons that come with it. You just want the pro without the con. You want to be treated equivalent to a man, or want the treatment of a man, that the benefits, which is not that many, of being treated like a man, but want to leave out all the cons that come with it. Because there are a lot of cons being a man. Then there are pros. And then when you get treated like a man, you will complain that, oh, but I'm a woman. I don't think that. No. You just talking about like, oh, treat me equal. I want equal rights. They're like, equal rights, equal rights, bitch. You get some treatment. You get what you ask for. I get tired of hearing that from these feminists who say they want to fight for equality, but their definition of equality is really just the benefits, but none of the cons. And you start to see that kind of behavior everywhere. You hear this talking point everywhere. And they have the nerve to still say that they're being oppressed. How are you being oppressed when you, at this point in this day and age, you got more rights than a man? You got more privilege than a man. Even before all the equal rights, you had more privilege than a man in a sense. So I ask you, AJ, like, make this make sense, Molly. You know anything? Do you want to add anything?
No, you're spitting facts, man. That's just how feminism, which is a branch of the Marxist ideology, that's how it functions. It's got all these women brainwashed. They think that, it's like, oh, I should be treated with equal respect as a man, but I don't have to uphold my responsibility to treat men with the same, or anyone else with the same respect.
Yeah, you even have women now who go through the media who are not complaining about feminism, who are now disowning feminism and calling it out because they see the BS that's started to smoke and mirrors. Because how the media looks at told it is this free thinking, free everything, like I get to do what I want, I get to suck and fuck all I want, I get to twerk all I want type thing. Like, because feminism is heavily promoted in the media. I'm a fully liberated woman and all that it is. But now you have women who are seeing the ramifications and consequences behind all that BS. And are calling it out and complaining about it. Crying. Literally. Like, and they're saying that feminism is a lie or a scam. You got women who were feminists are now saying that how much of a lie and a scam it is.
Yeah.
And you have got women who are calling the female entertainers who heavily promote and embody it. Because the women who are entertainers who promote and embody it are no better and are huge hypocrites themselves. Cardi B recently, who was one of the embodiments of this type of talk, the pro woman movement, Me Too and all that stuff, the liberated, sexually proactive woman. Recently was talking about how feminism is detrimental and how tradition, and started saying tradition is much better for family. Like, she literally, I was like, hold on, wait, this can't be Cardi B saying this stuff. She's really speaking against the grain.
Right.
And we're hearing her talking about in real time how family and unity are better than being a strong, independent woman. Like how being 50-50 with your partner. Like if both partners are high earners. Like, why would you have you say you be have a high earning job at work and then say that you can have a high earning man, but then have that high earning man pay all the bills and stuff, and you basically just do whatever you want. Basically, that saying. Your money is my money, is our money, and my money is my money. How these families love to say. I don't know if you ever heard that. So what?
That's right. They'd be like, your money is our money, my money is my money. When it's supposed to be your money is ours, both ways.
Yeah, and she was telling about how basically it should be like everybody, each partner's money has to both contribute 50-50 if they're both for work. If they're both going to be earners in the relationship. There should be none of this. Your money is our money and my money is my money crap.
Right.
Like, imagine my surprise when I heard that coming out of Cardi B's mouth. The same Cardi B who admitted to drugging and robbing dudes before she blew up.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. Like, she made it on social media in front of the whole world. And everybody act like, and she didn't say that. Are you serious? Are you serious? I bet you if she was a man that said that, y'all be condemning this man, having this man ready to get this man locked up.
Well, shit.
You've been making all kinds of R. Kelly and Harvey Weinstein comparisons and all. Or Bill Cosby comparison. Like, and that's another thing, and that what gets another thing. They locked Bill Cosby up for something that Cardi B admitted to doing in front of the whole world. Difference is, what she did was still pretty fresh. It was doing before she blew up, yes, but she admitted to it.
Right.
Bill Cosby's case, you had women who came out of the woodworks for years back trying to say that, he raped me. He drugged and raped me. You waited this long to say something? You must be a disgruntled ass woman who just didn't get what you want. It's like, wow.
Yeah.
The double standard.
Yeah, double standards. That's a good term.
The double standard of it all. It's like, one of the biggest lies and / scams is feminism, or at least this version of it, this iteration of it. Because all it did is feeding poison in women's heads, and in these women's heads, and that poison being fed to the young girls who are soaking up that poison and literally thinking it's right and are acting upon it. Well, all it is, it's just the poison of bitter women who you know what they say, misery loves company. That's what all it is. It's just misery wanting company. So they spread their poison, their hatred, their bitterness to the younger generation, so they have more company.
Mm-hmm.
So it's become a hive-like, cult-like mindset and movement.
How long you can keep this up? You don't got nothing important else to do, do you?
Enough said.
Enough said.
Yeah.
What do you think I'm talking about? This dream?
What do you want to talk about? What do you got? Anything else?
I want to keep it
No,
moving.
I got. I mean, that was What else?
You're gonna ban? Yeah.
Oh, no, I got a little bit more. I have one little bit more.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
When Kevin Samuels died, women were celebrating that man's death. Mostly black women were celebrating that man's death. But when you think about it, the reason why they celebrate his death is because Kevin Samuels was saying was the truth. And he called these women who had that feminist mindset and who were bitter and angry. He called these women out and he told them the truth. This man received hate for telling the truth to women, especially black women, and other races of women too. And people seem to forget that before he started becoming the truth teller to women, he was telling these truths to men, but he didn't blow up telling these truths to men. It's only when he blew up telling that, when he took that energy with women, holding women accountable, is when he blew up. And you know what really blew him up was not really the men, it was the women who were outraged that he held them accountable and called them out.
Mm-hmm.
And women couldn't stand it. They couldn't stand it because you know what? They're not used to being held accountable by a man, let alone a black man. Or just a man in general.
Yeah.
Because because for years, a lot of us, our community had to grow without a father in the household. It was mostly mothers who ran the house, even to this day. So when you had a man who was checking black women, or checking women in general, and let alone a black man doing it, bro, you can see the outrage because society has a thing that we are at the bottom of the totem pole.
Right. It's like in the movie Fight Club when Brad Pitt says we have an entire generation of men raised by women.
Exactly. And that's very
raised by fathers. The fathers are absent. And yeah, you're right. A lot of people of certain ethnic backgrounds or skin color, they know firsthand more than most others what it's like to be in a fatherless house.
Another fatherless child, a victim of the system.
Maybe you gotta.
But so you can imagine when he died, how many the amount of women that were celebrating this man's death, it was a thing. And the stuff they were saying, bro, it was disgusting. They said just disgusting things. Like you would think, like you would look at these women like, who the hell raised those dusty, disrespectful, rotten soul having ass?
Well, I mean, it's no different. It's the same as it really is the same as all those woke SBI, Sweet Baby Inc. supporting Twitterati who were like, in fact, I think it was a Sweet Baby Inc. employee praising the death of Akira Toriyama all over Twitter. And then, of course,
I remember that. So I heard about that shit. Fuck you.
They got so much backlash that they got that their cancel culture got them canceled.
Serves them right.
So instead of them being able, like, because this whole sweeping the ink thing, they were like there were some employees there who were trying to get an entire curator community taken down on Steam. So they engaged in cancel culture and ended up getting them canceled instead. Cancel failure is what it's more like what you should call it.
I tell you, people can be so stupid nowadays. In a way, it literally pays to be stupid. In a sense. Look at Aiden Ross. It definitely paid for him to be stupid. Or better yet, Neon. Oh, how about? I think I talked about this Neon, this chick streamer Neon, who basically was the Indian version of Jack Doherty, who would go around starting fights with people, and his security guard will come in and step in. Basically, a problematic streamer who blew up. How about he got banned on Twitter? Got banned. Like ever since his girl broke his OnlyFans Tatiana girlfriend broke up with him, dude's been down bad, and he recently got banned.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And then it makes me wonder with Aiden Ross. The reason why I said stupidity, it pays to be stupid, like in Aiden Ross' case, there are two instances where you gotta look at this man, like, in one stream, he had Playboy Cardi store. I think paid Playboy Cardi $2 or $3 million to show up. But Playboy Cardi came in with his face covered up, dressed in black in a BDSM outfit or something like that. And instead of answering and talking to Aiden, dude was ignoring the dude, ignoring him, and talking directly to the chat. Like, it wasn't even a whole conversation. He wasn't even there for like 20 or 30 minutes. So Aiden kind of ended the stream and gave the man the money. I would not have given Playboy Cardi shit. I'm like, bro, I'm thinking like, yo, Aiden, yeah, I should say like Aiden's in position because he's really stupid. Like, you won't hand somebody $2-3 million for basically wasting your time, wasting the viewer's time. You're acting like it's a privilege, and acting like it's a privilege that he was there to be on your thing. Bruh, first of all, Playboy Cardi, your ass you ain't dropped not one album yet. And recently, you have not dropped a hit song in a while. No one's ever heard anything from you in a while.
My brother does make a good point.
The last time we heard about Playboy Cardi is when he walked out of Victoria's Secret wearing lingerie. Wearing a damn thong. Yeah. That's the only time we've heard anything about this dude. So I'm looking at Eddie Ross like, bro, you must really be making a lot of money from Kickstarter. Because I would not guarantee Playboy Cardi that money, period. Didn't answer no questions. Came here with a damn disguise on like he Batman. Like he ghetto Batman or some shit. Didn't even bother engaging me or anything.
Yeah. I mean, we are.
And then there was another situation where basically 21 Savage came on his stream, was on a stream with him, and they were playing cards. I strongly believe 21 Savage was trying to hustle that man, because every card he came with, the playing cards they own, someone said they haven't brought them to play with, were marked. And Eddie didn't notice it until one of his own employees saw it and noticed it. Had it not been for that employee or that friend of his, couldn't have said probably would have took that dude for a whole lot of money, because he did the same thing to Kai Cenat.
This should be easy.
They took him for 30 or 300 grand or something like that. I swear to you, it's like the people who make it big on these platforms be the stupidest or most sus type of people.
Look at that. Another one left.
Like morally bankrupt people. You got anything you want to interject on this, man? What do you think?
I'm telling you that there's another team left. Down to one.
Yo, MAJ.
Yeah, I'm here. I thought Stefan was talking, but it doesn't sound like he's actually participating in the conversation.
Yeah, he's playing a game. So anything you want to add, dude?
Not at the moment. I was trying to think of something, but then I lost track when I was paying attention to you.
Oh, I apologize.
No, it's not. No, it's not your fault. No, I'd rather hear what if you got something you want to say and get out, go ahead and get out while it's still fresh in your mind. I was already taking too long to think of something earlier anyway.
Turn them off before you get away.
Not a whole lot. I mean, I pretty much touched on it. And I know you said earlier, so most of the information I'm sharing a lot with you about the Sweet Baby Inc. thing. But I mean, that all ties in with the whole, woke in the video games. I mean, they're probably the reason why you saw what you did when it came to certain things in Street Fighter 6, Mortal Kombat 1. Like, there's a lot of known games out there.
Yeah.
That they had their hand in. And now they're trying to make video gamers out. Basically, now it's coming down to that being identified as a video gamer is the equivalent of being called a conservative or being called a Nazi.
There you are.
Yeah, I thought that was crazy. That's why you see mostly play Japanese games, because you don't see none of that here.
Well, it's any games in general.
Only Mario mode.
Because of how gamers are reacting to all this woke stuff in the industry.
Huh? Foreign Mario or something. I haven't gotten that far. Remember, they took the board to Adult Swim show off.
Anyway.
Speaking of, since we've taken a pause here in the conversation, I don't know if you noticed, but your Cosmo Kiryu profile picture is missing. I can't believe he left like that. He just left me hanging. I'm all here by myself.
I'm right here, dude.
I know.
Johnny.
Yes, Papa.
Stealing boots?
No, Papa.
Telling lies?
No, Papa.
Oh, God, you took the wrong son.
Oh, my God.
What time is it?
Cooking turkey time!
Reach in there and pull it out.
What is this?
It's turkey dick.
Ew!
It's turkey dick. Yeah, obviously the kid don't know any better. Once he's grown up, he'll be like, oh, it's a turkey neck. That's just hilarious. Turkey dick. He fell for it. Oh, hello. There you go. You want to change? You want to lighten the mood? Like, what's I haven't seen you gaming lately, or a whole lot, really. Everything going all right?
Work, man, work.
Yeah, I hear you. Hey, what's your? You want to know what my favorite pizza is?
Pineapple,
No,
pepperoni.
I'll tell you one thing. It's not DiGiorno. It's De Struggle.
Don't I know?
I do have a joke for you though. So this guy, he just ran up to me the other day and he was screaming at me like, "I'm a wigwam, I'm a teepee, I'm a wigwam, I'm a teepee." I said, "Relax, man. You're too tense."
2 10.
Too tense. Yeah, wigwam, teepee, yeah. Funny, honey, haha.
Let me break it down for you, man.
Let me break it down for you, Mark.
I do recall. I think I caught one of your streams. You were doing the Digimon one again.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. Oh,
But I also need to finish up the other two I started. I never finished the DLC for the other two.
Oh yeah, there you go. That's a good reason to play. I was streaming earlier today myself because they had a sale on, so I went ahead and snagged myself this one DLC I've been wanting for quite a while for Stellaris, and I decided to start my first stream of that.
Nice.
Yep, but it's a long game, right? So I'll probably be doing multiple streams of that just to get any good content out of it.
I think the Infinite Wealth is pretty long too.
Infinite, yeah. I've been seeing you play that.
Trying to do this main story and the side stuff and the sub stories, bruh. A lot to do.
Bruh, you need to try Skyrim. You'll have so many side quests that you'll forget that there's a main plot.
I've heard. So I've heard.
Right? It can get crazy. Let's see. What about you? Is there anything else you want to talk about? Anything good?
Kind of thinking.
Think what?
Oh, it hit its head.
No, my husband can't join your team. He's a bald fucking pussy. He's even a useless father to Marin.
Marin can join our team then. That's okay, right? You know how to do an RKO, Marin? If we have a baby on our team, another fighter will kill it by mistake and get disqualified. You cold motherfucker.
Is my baby in danger at this tournament?
No! We sense some real hidden potential in Marin. Like when Gohan went crazy against Raditz. Or some shit like that.
Okay, that's fine then.
All right!
That's funny.
You remember PP loans?
What was that?
You remember the PP loans that were going on during the pandemic?
The what long?
PP loans.
Oh, the triple P loans.
loans.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember. And how it was
Yeah,
bigger
they were
corporations
like a-
that were applying and getting approved for the loans when that was intended for small mom and pop shops instead.
And all the people who were doing scams like a motherfucker doing that time.
Oh yeah, the whole thing was a scam, dude.
Yeah.
Pfizer scammed everybody. The whole thing, 2.5 years, was one giant long con.
And because of that, I'm pretty sure they needed people to be cover up on Fall Guys because the whole thing was itself was a scam. Now you don't change the fact that people are still scamming, still using PP loans to run scams, but even though PP loans were a scam itself, but I feel like the people who were locked up for doing the PP loan scams were more or less scapegoats too.
Mm-hmm.
To avoid the fact that the whole PP loan was a scam.
Well, it was the scam for the scammers. Obviously, the fact that big corporations and big businesses were allowed or approved for the loans when it was supposed to be for smaller companies and smaller businesses to be able to pay their employees. Yeah, the whole thing was a scam. And it was set up so that the people who abused it would get away with abusing it.
Yeah.
They weren't just scapegoats. They were in on it. They were part of the scam.
Someone owns a dog?
Yeah, I got a dog.
What kind?
He's part Akita.
Cool.
Yep.
Is
So
he part
he's
Wiener dog?
definitely got that Japanese dog look to him. What other topics could we hit on? I mean, with that last little thought, though, I mean, you gotta look at the money. It's another example of following the money when it comes to any of this, whether it's the woke stuff in movies and games, or comics, or scams with money and loans from the government during the lockdowns. Like, you gotta follow the money, dude. If you follow the money, all the answers become more clear. Especially when it comes to government or political stuff. Follow the money, and you'll know who the scammers are, who the ones that are grifting. Like the Democrats, they're always grifting. The Republicans, they're grifting too, but they're spinning it from another angle to get the other
Speaking
half.
of, I noticed within my community, the black community, whenever one of our own does something wrong or scams the community, like say for instance, scam, and people try to come together to hold those scammers or delinquents in the community accountable, you always have that one person within our community that want to shame the black community for holding those scammers, the scammers and liars in our community accountable. And so I say, and want to say stuff like, "You never do this to the white people. You never do this to white people who scam me. You never do this to police and this and that." I get tired of hearing that bitch. I get tired of those type of people who do that.
Yeah.
That ain't the point. That ain't the point. The point is, those scammers and liars scammed us out of our money. You lied to them. You scammed us. That's the point we're on. When we don't hold people within our community accountable, instead of trying to do the shit and blame thing, nothing gets done, and people will think, be able to do it again. It sets a precedent that people can just do what they want, scam and lie, and without facing no consequence.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like you got this YouTuber, this big YouTuber, financial YouTuber, Boyce Watkins, who was who does this financial channel. He's pretty much a simp. Like this guy married a woman who rejected him years ago, and then now that she has kids and she's coming up in age, he proposed to her, and they're in their 50s. I was like, bro, this woman that wants you then, probably don't want you now. She probably just only saying yes because you financially stable and wealthy, something like that.
Or she's just reached that point in her life that, you know, it's like take what she can get. She got no other options, right? She got the end of her rope. She's reached the end of her clock.
Yeah. See, like, so this guy, Boyce Watkins, which a lot of people call him Moist Watkins, because this dude is hella moist when it comes to certain things. Especially when he gets called out by people, by the very women who he claims to support and protect. But he be doing them work, but yet it's funny. The guys who claim they love black women, respect black women, and protect black women be the main ones who dog out black women in our community. Him and Umar Johnson.
Okay.
But back to the topic. So he sponsored this guy who was running a real estate company, the Real Estate Tulsa Fund, the Tulsa Real Estate Fund. And there are some people who were skeptical of the Tulsa Real Estate Fund, but there were people who invested in this Tulsa Real Estate Fund. And Boyce Watkins put the guy who was running that fund on, like gave him a platform and gave him his full support. While there are people who have been over time calling out this Tulsa Real Estate Fund as a scam. Because whenever they own the guy who run the fund and get the money, you would never hear nothing from him after that. Or he would give you the runaround.
Oh shit. So somebody was scamming real estate property owners?
No, in a sense, he had people investing in real estate. He was running in a real estate investment fund.
Oh.
And there are people who invested in that fund. Boyce Watkins gave this dude the AOK, like put him on YouTube, gave him own access to his platform to talk about the fund and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Promote it. Lo and behold, it was discovered that fund actually was on scale. Heck, it was already exposed as one beforehand by a YouTuber named Spencer Cornelia. I don't know if you know of him or not.
No.
Spencer Cornelia, well, it's like similar to CopyZilla. They basically expose scammers.
Okay.
On social media and on other and outside of social media, of course. And so when this guy was being caught, when the guy who when the guy who was running the fund being called out for his scam, his proven scam, and people were asking Boyce Watson questions, this dude, this moist mofo go try to flip it and say like, "Oh, you would not do this to a white person. You wouldn't do this to any other race." He was like, basically, blame shifting the goalposts and blaming everything. That's why when I hear these pro-black guys talk this pro-black stuff and claim how they love their people and they want to better their people, I don't see it, because it seems like you want to benefit of your people while spouting nonsense and bullshit.
Right.
And then when you get held accountable, you want to shift the blame. You want to come up with all kinds of excuses to shift blame or hold yourself accountable or be held accountable.
Right, and that's it right there. Is that people, these grifters and such, people like that, they choose not to be the adult and refuse to take personal responsibility. Because, like, for example, to try and get at the heart of what I'm touching on there is like this. Like, there was a place I went to, the sign was up, it said, we are not responsible for lost or stolen items. And right next to it, there was another sign that said, this establishment will not tolerate rudeness or disrespect. And I was like, wait, stealing is disrespectful. That's why it's so wrong. You're taking something from somebody without permission. Theft is disrespect. So how can you say that you will not tolerate disrespect, but you're gonna do nothing about preventing theft? You know what I mean?
Yep.
That's a form of personal responsibility. Is that your personal responsibility as an individual is to know the difference between right and wrong and how to respect others. And one of those things that's part of that is that you don't take shit that's not yours. You don't rob a store for the money. You don't steal people's stuff, because obviously by doing those kind of things, you're not being responsible. You're not being respectful. You're refusing to be responsible and showing others respect by respecting their property. So yeah, there's a lot of backwardness going on these days.
It's like the world has just been flipped so ass backwards, it's just ridiculous.
Mm-hmm. It's got me worried, though. Again, I know I mentioned it already, but it's that bill with that they passed because they want to ban TikTok, and it's like, who are they really going to go after? Who are they? TikTok isn't the enemy. TikTok is not the source of the number one source of degeneracy in the more recent generation. It's not the major source or primary source of misinformation on the internet. So sure, they may go after it, but it's really, people don't understand that by continuing to refuse to take personal responsibility for, as members of society, because we do, as citizens, we have a moral obligation to pay attention to how our government functions. Otherwise, we end up with situations like this. And everybody's like, we're just going to ignore politics and it won't have any effect on me if I just ignore it, or it'll go away. Bitch, look what's going on. You got people being put in jail, taken to court for posting political memes. You've got a law that now makes it where they can shut down or ban a social media platform. Who are they really going to, like? It's like, I'm like, man, they're probably not going to be going after YouTube since it's owned by Google, and Google's been sleeping around with both political parties. I'm pretty sure, I feel pretty certain that if worse came to worse, they're going to go after Twitter. I mean, Elon Musk kicked Twitter, before Elon Musk bought out Twitter was in bed with the FBI and CIA.
Oh yeah, that's most definitely.
So now now Twitter's not playing ball with the federal government anymore. You can bet your bottom dollar the CIA don't like that. The FBI don't like that. If you don't cooperate with them, they come after you. You're considered an enemy.
That's probably why Elon didn't get approved for that $50 billion stipend or loan or something like that.
Right.
And
There'd
that
be a lot of
was
reasons behind that. of
that's
course.
probably one of the methods of punishing him.
Because honestly, though, you know, the banks are, I mean, when you're going for a loan, it's going to be the banks that make that decision. And the banks, we all, as everybody should know by now, the banks are already in cahoots with the feds. What else? I should see if there's anything trending. What is trending? What is trending right now? Oh, social media. All right. Let's see. Oh my God, that's from last year. Why are they putting that up? Dang, there's nothing. Latest buzz today. Okay. Oh, you know Gina Carano, right?
Who?
You ever heard of Gina Carano, the chick who starred in The Mandalorian?
Yeah.
And then she got fired for her political opinions.
Yeah, got fired for political views.
Yeah, you heard that she's suing Disney, right?
Yeah.
Yep. And of course, Elon Musk is backing her lawsuit while also starting his own lawsuit because Bob Iger had Disney pull out their funding from their ad purchases funding from Twitter because Elon Musk refused to engage in censorship.
Well, it's about time. People are starting to fight back and get tired of the bullshit.
Right.
They stop taking the crap that they've been dishing out for long, and everybody else for a long time.
Let's see. Oh, looks like 3 hours ago there was a shooting in a New York City subway.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, that in a sense, that's kind of nothing new. But a lot of stuff happens in those New York subways.
Yeah, the fact that they'd be like, "Oh, there was a gun shooting in New York City," it's like, and the sun rises. What's the news? You know, it's like New York City is a very dangerous and violent city. There's going to be shooting somewhere. But they were like, "Oh, we got it." It's like, yeah, that's the news trying to make a spin and fearmonger. It's like, "Oh no, there was a shooting in the subway." It's like, yeah, and there was a theft at a Dollar General. What about it?
Things happen, but I feel like that doesn't mean that we should become desensitized to stuff. It's just that stop feeding us this minor news and give us something that's actually important.
Right. Well, that's the thing is that they're trying to scare. They want to scare people. It's all the 24-hour news cycle is all it has been about fear, promoting fear. That's the propaganda machine at work. Here we go. I remember seeing this on Twitter yesterday. Did you hear about the Starship test launch? They made it. The Starship made it the furthest it has ever gone into going into orbit above Earth, and it successfully came back through the atmosphere. The heat shield worked.
No, the first time hearing.
Yeah, and this is part of the NASA Artemis mission to the moon.
Cool.
Yeah, you should look into it. I see an article here. As part of NASA's Artemis campaign to return humans to the moon for the benefit of all, the agency is working with SpaceX to develop the company's Starship human landing system, which will land astronauts near the moon's south pole during the Artemis 3 and Artemis 4 missions. On March 14th, SpaceX launched the third integrated flight test of its Super Heavy booster and Starship upper stage, an important milestone toward providing NASA with a Starship HLS for its Artemis missions. And that's the test that I was talking about. It happened yesterday. So that's pretty cool because the Starship is what Elon Musk is through his SpaceX company. That's his, his big plan to get humans to Mars is via Starship.
These things are on you then.
Right. There really isn't a lot of interesting things. Like I'm on Google Trends, and some of the top 20 things that are trending in the last 4 or 5 hours just don't seem really interesting. What about real-time search trends? Okay. Let's see here. A lot of football, college football stuff, sports stuff. WWE.
I wanted to talk about Red Pill.
Okay.
Red Pill is not the same like it used to be.
Mm-hmm.
Like when Kevin Simmons was around and certain other guys were in it, it meant something. It had a message. It stood for something. Knowledge, wisdom, and educating on how to be a man and how a woman thinks and how women of this generation move and what to expect and what to know. It was that father that prepped you it was like that fictional father that took the place of the father that was robbed of us, that was not there in our lives, and telling us and showing us how we should move, how should we react, and what to do when in a situation we're dealing with life or with women of this generation. But now it's become kind of a cesspool / grift movement. With guys who are just regurgitating the same thing that the original guys, like Kevin Samuels, was saying, and trying to make a quick buck.
Right.
And trying to get on grow their platform. Like Fresh and Fit or what else? Mostly Fresh and Fit. Oh yeah, and Andrew Tate. Hey,
yeah, you told me about those two before. I remember that.
You know, recently Andrew Tate, Aiden Ross, basically, I don't know how he did. He snitched on Andrew Tate about Andrew Tate thinking about apparently a phone conversation between him and Aiden Ross was leaked that Andrew Tate was thinking about leaving the country so he wouldn't get indicted because he still deal with that Romanian case.
Mm-hmm.
And that got leaked or discovered, and now Andrew Tate is back in some serious hot water now. It's like when people deal with Eddie Ross, you are bound to get in some shit.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I kind of hate the fact that Andrew Tate, that we glorified Andrew, that a lot of the people, even myself at one point, glorified Andrew Tate as this all masculine, man of all men, truth speaker. When in reality, he was just a grifter, another grifter. And clout chaser. He was just another grifter when you think about it. Yeah, the stuff he said had some truth to it and had some weight to it, and or he was just regurgitating probably the same stuff, but just wording it in his own way, and we all bought and took into it, and it made him a worldwide phenomenon for it. He basically, in a sense, reached the level of notoriety that Kevin Samuels probably would have reached had Kevin Samuels actually did not die. Other saying basically is overall saying that I guess he had the right. He was regurgitating the right messages. I guess he was just the wrong messenger.
Okay.
If all that makes any sense.
Okay.
And it's just like ever since all that, ever since, and then and just Pearly thing, she also got recently demonetized too. Prior for when she said that that comment she made about a 16-year-old girl is much harder than a 36-year-old woman.
What?
Yeah. She said something about a 16-year-old girl being harder than an older woman.
Okay.
Live or on the video. And she was also interviewing underage girls who are under the age of 18. Asking them all these kind of, I guess you could say, red pillish questions. And it made you look at her like, what the fuck, woman? Are you that desperate to maintain views? I've been pretty much destroyed her real good and exposed her ass. Her and Fresh and Fit are pretty much done. Nico just still constantly taking L's. Let's keep it like that. He's to this day still constantly taking L's. But like I said, it's like Red Pill is not like it used to be when Kevin Samuels was around. Mediocre Detroiters and OTT Jackson and many others.
Right.
It's becoming a cesspit. Well, you still have some of your respectable ones in the platform. It's just that the morons in the platform seem to be getting more attention and having more of a voice than the sensible one. And because of it, the message that was the original message of that is the red pill has been perverted. Just like how feminism was perverted into what it is now.
Yeah.
Red pill is basically become this pretty much how feminism has become, or it was turning into it. It's pretty much become nothing more than a money-making machine / initiative / movement / mindset, rather than something that stood for something.
Well, instead of standing for something, maybe it'd be better to stand for yourself and stand with the people who are like-minded in that regard. Because collective mindsets like red pill or blue pill or Comicsgate or Gamergate, they're no different than the people who collectively identify as woke or support the woke agenda. It's all identity politics, and that's why they fail. That's why you can see them fail the way they do when they no longer have that leader or central figure that bound such a group together, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Collectivism is about the group. All collectivist mindset is about the group. It has no interest or care about the individual. And that's also part of the reason why identity politics is so toxic.
Yeah. It's like Kevin really didn't assert himself as a leader. The people who championed him put him in that position.
Right. People looked to him because they respected his knowledge or opinion.
Yeah. So you can imagine how the many people were mourning his death, whereas the enemies, the ops, were celebrating him.
Yeah.
And they had the nerve to try to profit off his image and death.
Yep.
It's like the audacity. Give it to him, Grinch. just makes you. I said society makes you want to punch it in the face, you know?
Right? Or punch a wall.
Right. Just makes it sad.
It can, but with that said, you know, because I recognize a lot of the, because I'm seeing things so clearly. It just makes me wonder, like, it makes me wonder why I'm still, you know, why it's so easy for me to have hope or still hold on to hope. Because I see what other people see, and then I can see beyond that, and I'm like, dude, if you saw what I could see, would you still be so hopeless, or would it only reinforce your idea of, you know, keeping up the struggle and fighting for what's right? Because sometimes I wonder, it's like, how am I still so hopeful, even if I know that the worst is yet to happen?
It makes you wonder.
It does make you wonder, don't it?
Yeah.
Let me break it down for you, Mark.
It's definitely been a tough week, though. So, with that said, I think I'm going to bow out early.
Yeah, actually, I was about to ask y'all, say there's no about to end the stream.
All right. Well, I definitely appreciate you making time to have me come aboard.
No problem, buddy. I appreciate you coming.
My pleasure, man. You have a good night, and thanks to all our viewers here on Ronnie D's channel and over on mine for joining us in this conversation.
Enjoyed your company, buddy.
Appreciate your company, buddy. Take care.
You too.
This is a pretty hardcore origin story.
It's okay. It's okay. We're gonna figure it out.
Were you followed?
No, I don't think so.
Johnny.
Yes, Papa.
Stealing boots?
No, Papa.
Telling lies?
No, Papa.
Oh God, you took the wrong son.